Hello, friends, Sunday Gathering family. We are so grateful you're here. Are you feeling that light shine? Are you feeling good? I sure hope so. If we haven't yet met, I'm Sandra Champlain. Always so delighted to be here for the Sunday Gathering. This is Sunday Gathering number 235, which is crazy to think so. But way back in 2020, some of my friends and I came together in a dark time in the world. We know it. We are all housebound to shed some light, really, to uplift, to join the two worlds, letting you know that we can make it through anything, that we are loved, we are supported, that our loved ones are around. And little did we know that it would become a global sensation. Yes, you and 150, usually, of your friends gather today. If you can picture the globe with all these little lights shining, that's us. And we are a very real community, even though we may be joined by technology. We're very, very real. Today, I am joined with a very good friend of mine. It is Medium, and he's also our guest speaker today. His name is Chris Jacobs, coming from England. Chris is just an amazing man with just such a passion for humanity, people on both sides of the veil. He's written a beautiful book called A Life Far from Ordinary, My Life with Spirit. Today, Chris will be doing our address, our prayers, and also our demonstration of mediumship. And then you got me filling in for all the other little bits. We're grateful you're here. I wanted to share with you, I have upstairs in my room this little daily calendar filled with great quotes, and they empower me to start the day. Today said, believe in yourself and all that you are. Know that there is something inside you that is greater than any obstacle. Chris got to choose our theme today, and that is the light within. So I thought that quote is just perfect. So we are going to be unfolding and letting that light shine bright today. So welcome to everyone. If you're new with us as our Sunday Gathering unfolds, I'll tell you more about it and things coming up. But right now, I'd like to turn it over to Chris for our opening prayer, please.
Good evening, and thank you very much for that, Sandra. Lovely to be here, as always. If you'd like to join with me now, friends, as we open this evening in prayer. Great Creator, we gather in gratitude, diverse souls united seeking your presence. Let your light illuminate our path, opening our eyes to your beauty and to our hearts to your love. In this sacred space, we lay our burdens before you. Transform us with your grace and fill us with your radiant peace. Guide us to be your beacons of your light in a world that truly needs it. Bless those amongst us who are hurting, heal those who are sick, and comfort those who mourn. Give hope to those who are in despair. Let your peace, which surpasses all understanding, guide and guard our hearts and minds. As we begin this service, we invite the spirit of our loved ones to move freely amongst us, and may we glorify your name. Amen.
Thank you so much, Chris. And I have a reading for you. We're going to call this Story Time with Sandra. Once upon a time, in the heart of a bustling city, lived a young boy named Nico. Nico was an average boy living an average life. However, Nico was unaware that he had a special light inside him, a divine power. Every day he would go to school, play with his friends, and help his mother cook dinner. He thought his life was simple and nothing special. Everything changed one night when Nico had a dream. In it, a mysterious figure told him of the inner light within, just waiting to be discovered. The figure was a glowing old man who called himself Eldon. Eldon was a celestial being who guided young souls to find their inner power. Nico, Eldon began, you must embark on a journey of self-discovery. Only then will you uncover your divine light. Waking from his dream, Nico was filled with questions and excitement. This dream seemed so real. So he decided it was time for him to begin his journey. Nico's journey began with Eldon's guidance. He had to explore the complexities of his emotions and the power of empathy. Eldon explained how anger, happiness, sadness, and fear were not enemies, but allies that could help him understand his inner light. Nico spent days understanding his feelings. He learned the importance of love, to love others, to love all things, and most importantly, the value of self-love. The more he understood himself, the brighter his inner light shone. He noticed that his actions started influencing his surroundings positively. Nico started seeing things differently. He observed people's emotions and more keenly, and empathized with them, which made him more kind-hearted. His friends noticed a change in Nico, which in turn made them happier. Nico's journey was not easy. There were days when he felt lost and confused, but with every challenge, his light grew stronger. Nico realized the power of resilience. He realized that failures and disappointments were stepping stones to success. The journey was exhausting, both physically and emotionally, but his inner light, his divine power, kept him going. Finally, the day came when Nico felt his inner light shine the brightest. He had truly discovered his divine power, the power of love, empathy, and resilience. That night in a dream, Eldon smiled at Nico. "Congratulations, Nico. You've unlocked your inner light. Use it wisely and spread the love," he said. With the discovery of his divine power, Nico saw the world differently. He understood that every person held a similar light within them, just waiting to be discovered. From that day forward, Nico became an example of love and positivity in his neighborhood. His friends and people around him were inspired by his change, and they wanted that change for themselves. Nico's journey also showed the people around him the importance of self-discovery, love, empathy, and resilience. He was now a beacon of light in their lives. Every night, Nico would thank Eldon for guiding him to discover his divine power, and every night Eldon would smile, happy to have guided another soul. To this day, Nico shares that our journeys are never ending. Remember, every one of us, just like Nico, has an inner light waiting to be discovered. So embark on the journey of self-discovery and find your divine power. And always remember, our divine power is not a superpower, but the manifestation of love, empathy, resilience, and understanding. So let's all be like Nico. Let's discover our divine power, our inner light. Shine it brightly and spread the joy to everyone around us. Let's not wait for tomorrow to embark on our journey of self-discovery. Remember, today is the best day to start. So let's be brave and discover our divine power. As we venture on this journey, remember Nico's story, a simple boy who discovered his divine power and used it to change the world around him. Thank you for listening to our reading. And now we are going to go into our healing segment. This is a beautiful music video that I'm going to play. The song is called The Light Within by Nathan Pacheco. When we sit for healing, it's an opportunity for those in the unseen world to use our human energy and send it to where it's needed in the world. And certainly every time we offer our healing, some comes right back to us like a boomerang. As we go into our healing, we may want to imagine those in the world that need healing in those situations. And there's a lot of unrest in the world, but that light, that divine power within each person. And we can see that transformation and picture people happy, whole, well, a peaceful earth. And as we just sit back, relax, offer our intention of healing, we trust that those in the unseen world will use it where it's needed. After the song plays, the next voice you will hear will be from our wonderful friend and guest, which is Chris Jacobs. So let me now play our healing video.
Thank you, Sandra. That was absolutely outstanding. What a wonderful, wonderful choice. I don't know about you, but it certainly gave me goosebumps. It really did. Wow, I feel quite emotional after that as well. So, brilliant. I've never heard it, and I absolutely love it. So thank you for that choice. So we come to that part now where we do the philosophy, the address. And friends, I want to, if for a moment, if we can just explore a profound truth, and that is each one of us carries within a divine spark, a light of immeasurable power and potential. This light is not something external or even separate from us, but an integral part of our very being, woven into our fabric and our existence since the dawn of time. If we can consider for one moment the vastness of the cosmos, in that infinite expanse of space, countless stars shine their light across unimaginable distances. These celestial beacons have burned for billions of years, their radiance a constant presence in our ever-changing universe. Just as these stars illuminate the darkness of space, so does an internal light that shines within each and every one of us. This inner light is not bound by time or space. It has always been and always will be. It is an essence of our consciousness, the core of our very being. Why then, if this light is so fundamental to who we are, do we not sometimes feel lost and alone in the darkness? Why do we struggle to see the brilliance within ourselves or indeed others? The answer lies in our perception, in the veils of illusion that cloud our vision. Society often teaches us to look outside ourselves for validation, for purpose, even for light. Why are we conditioned to believe that our worth is determined by external factors, our achievements, our possessions, or even our status? But these are merely reflections, pale imitations of the true light that resides within us. To recognize our inner light, we must first quieten the noise of the external world. Through introspection, meditation, and self-reflection, we can peel away those layers of conditioning and false beliefs that obscure our true nature. And as we do so, we begin to glimpse the radiance that has always been there, that is waiting to be acknowledged. Once we become aware of our own inner light, then we can start to unlock the wellspring of transformative power. This light, the source of our creativity, our compassion, our capacity for love and understanding. It is a driving force behind every kindness, every moment of insight, and every breakthrough in our physical progress. When we tap into this light, we become the agents of change in a world increasing in darkness by what we call progress. We all know that a single candle can illuminate a darkened room. Imagine then if the power of billions of lights shining together, wow, what that could do. Each time we chose love over fear, understanding over judgment, cooperation over conflict, we amplify the collective light of humanity. How do we bring more light into this world? It begins with the recognition that every interaction, every choice, every moment is an opportunity to shine. By treating ourselves with kindness and understanding, we nurture our own inner light and become better equipped to share it with others. So be present in each moment. Be aware of the light within you and the potential to share it. Every act of kindness, no matter how small, is a ray of that light in someone else's life. A light that can penetrate even the darkest recesses. When faced with conflict or even indifference, let us strive to understand rather than be too quick to judge. Let your empathy be the bridge of light between hearts, known or even unknown. Unleash your inner fire. Your talents aren't just skills. They're beacons in the dark. When you dare to shine, you set the world ablaze, and ablaze with endless possibilities. Nature isn't just scenery. It's a symphony of cosmic energy. It is who we are. So let us immerse ourselves in its wild rhythms. Feel that pulse of eternity course through our veins. Let it shine in our smile. Let it be felt in our touch as we reach out to another. Maybe just to tap somebody on the shoulder or hold a hand. It has that power and the potential to change, to bring light to what once seemed so dark. As you recognize that light, even within yourself, it helps others see that same light within themselves. Your example can be a catalyst for an amazing awakening, an awakening to the reality of love, of the light of God, the light that we are all immersed in. So never underestimate the power of your light to change this world. Like a stone cast into a still pond, your actions create ripples that extend far beyond your immediate sphere or even influence. A kind word to a stranger might inspire them to show kindness to another, and therefore the ripple is then in full effect. It creates a chain of reaction, of positivity that touches countless lives, countless lights. Moreover, as quantum physics suggests, we are interconnected at the most fundamental level. Even when you elevate your own consciousness, you contribute to the elevation of the collective human consciousness. Your personal growth is an awakening that has far-reaching effects that we may never fully know or even comprehend. With the recognition of our own inner light comes a profound responsibility. We are no longer passive observers in this world, but active participants in its unfolding. Each of us has that power to shape our reality and the reality of others through our thoughts, words, and our actions. This responsibility might seem daunting, but remember, you're not alone. Billions of lights shine alongside you, each with the potential to illuminate this world in which we live. By joining together in a community, in a common person, in a common purpose, by recognizing the light in ourselves, we shine brighter. That light will illuminate and create a brighter future than we could ever imagine. So open your eyes and look around. See the light shining in the eyes of those around you. Recognize that this gathering is not just a collection of individuals, but a constellation of lights, each unique and each essential. Remember, every breath you take is a conversation with the universe. Every step is a dance with destiny. You're not just alive, you're life itself, expressing itself in human form. So go out there and vibrate in harmony with this cosmic symphony. So after this gathering this evening has concluded, let us carry on with the knowledge that you are a being of light. You have the power to illuminate the darkest corners of our world and of this universe. Remember this, light has always been a part of you, and it always will be. It's your birthright, your true nature, and your gift to this world, as well as a gift to yourself. So be that light that was always intended for you to be. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, Chris. Wow, you touched my light. You did. And I'm sure I speak for everyone. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. In a moment, we're going to go on to our medium demonstration, but I heard something new, Chris, with what you just shared that I never quite heard before. That little light that we all have. You know, I always thought, be generous, be kind, do good things, be of service, all that, and that shines that light. But who we each are as individuals, we all have our God-given talents and loves and joys, and that more we share those little things that make us, the brighter it shines. You take any beautiful work of art or a beautiful song or a book, maybe something someone's created that touches that special place inside you and inspires you. Why it touches you is because they were working from their light. We know just the opposite when we hear things that we don't care for, maybe not working from their light. So I wanted to just share that. So bless you, Chris. Thank you so, so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on to our demonstration of mediumship. This is just an opportunity to feel the love, really, from our friends and loved ones in the unseen world. Now, they don't just wait for our Sunday gathering to be by our sides. No, they don't. In the spirit world, we continue to learn and grow. And I have a dream of being a singer someday. And if I don't get to do it here, I can do it over there. We have just infinity at our fingertips, but it's easy for them to just be right with us too. They can multitask. They can be in two places at once. And so, yes, we have our privacy, but our loved ones still join us in life. They're our biggest cheerleaders, and we may not see them, and it may take everything we've got to feel them and trust that they're there, but they are. So we get to celebrate every Sunday gathering, and some of our members of our community will be getting readings today. Now, Chris and I are representatives of the 150 or so people here on our Sunday gathering. Today, we'll get a handful of members of the spirit world that will be presenting themselves on behalf of all of our loved ones. So even if your loved one doesn't come through, please bring these readings towards you. Feel just how close loved ones are. And something very interesting happens, just like Chris's address probably hit each one of our souls. Well, the spirit world, they're panelists on Zoom from the spirit world that I think if we listen and pull the readings towards us, we can all take something from them. They're just quite lovely. So I know we've got some new friends here with us, and I know we have some friends that have been with us before. I just want to run down how our medium demonstration works. First, Chris is a longtime medium. He's a tutor. He has given his life really to the spirit world, so those in the unseen world can have their voice heard once again. The spirit world will work with him using his thoughts, his memories, feelings, however they wish to present themselves to him, they will. Remember, we are still people when we migrate to the other side. We have thoughts and feelings and opinions and all that, memories, all that good stuff. So they will, in their own way, work with Chris to present themselves. Chris will do his very best to give some initial bits of information about the spirit person who has connected with him. Spirit world, very smart people. They know exactly who's on our Sunday gathering. Even if you think you're out for a walk and nobody knows you're here, well, your loved ones do. So don't be surprised. It may be you that gets a reading today. After Chris gives those initial bits of information, we want you to be on the edge of your seat and really think, is this one of my loved ones? Now, it could be a family member, could be a friend, could be somebody you worked with, could be somebody who's in your circle, maybe not real close with, but who knows how they work. But if you can take 100% of the information that Chris has just shared in his description of the spirit person, if you can understand it all, what we want you to do is press your raise hand button. Now, this is the time for everybody to look at your screen, find the raise hand button. Okay, where is it on my device or screen? If you're on a phone or an iPad, you might see 3 dots. Press that, and then the raise hand button should appear. But go ahead and press it. See how it works. Press it a couple times if you like. It'll go from raise hand to lower hand. Why this is important is sometimes there's more than one person that can take all the initial bits of information. So Chris will continue working so that one hand ideally is left raised. If that person is you, I will press a button on my side. You'll get a little pop-up on your screen that will ask you to unmute yourself. Now, you don't see any unmute button right now. I know you don't, but you will after I press the magic button. Your camera will remain off, but we love to hear your voice. When I say we love to hear your voice, we love to hear your voice saying one of three things: yes, no, or I don't know. Whether you're on our Sunday gathering, you go to any medium demonstration, or you have a one-on-one reading with a medium, please let them do the work so that we all know that our mediums really are working with the spirit world. Unfortunately, there's a lot of mediums out there that are not fully trained or may have big egos or whatever, and they may ask you for information. No. Don't let that happen. So just say yes, no, or I don't know. We really feel strongly about raising the level of mediumship in the world. So I'm grateful for Chris for being part of that. Mediums with integrity. That's what we stand for. So again, just yes, no, or I don't know. It is as simple as that. Even if you don't get a message yourself, please remember, pull the readings towards you, because I do believe that our friends in the spirit world are just extra panelists here on Zoom with messages really for all. Spectacular. So with our theme of the light within, and to me, when I think of light, the brightest light is the sun. So that's what I think of when I think of that light, but it's burning inside. We always like to play a feel-good piece of music before our demonstration. So I've got an old song, Katrina and the Waves, Walking on Sunshine. When we listen, just feel that love from the unseen world. Sometimes it takes our imagination to get it all ignited, but our imagination is the key really to the kingdom and how our soul communicates. So let me play the song, and then when we come back, we'll be with Chris for the demonstration. All right, old song, but we all know it. Love a little Katrina in the waves and sunshine. I'm walking on sunshine, Chris.
Glad you are. Okay. So, good evening, everybody. I'd just like to touch on something that Sandra actually mentioned. And I'll always remember these 1,000 years ago when I used to sit in circle with my old circle leader. And she always said something to me that I found quite interesting back at that time. And now I firmly believe it. When she used to say, even though the possibilities of you getting a message may be slim, listen anyway, because spirit has the intelligence to wrap up within somebody else's message a message for you that will speak to you for what you need at this moment in time. So listen anyway. You know, there may be just a couple of words or a sentence that will hit home and that will say, my loved one is here. They're listening to me. They've heard me. So they always get that message across. There's no fear of that. Okay. So let us move into this lovely section here where the other world will come forward and inspire me with the words that you need to hear. And as I say this, I know that I've got a gentleman that comes forward, and I know he comes in such a gentle manner. So I know he was very gentle, a very loving and a kind man. But I do feel he had a great philosophical, I can't even say the words, put my teeth back in, philosophical way of life or way of looking at life. I know that life hadn't always been easy to him. And he shows me here that he would have possibly kept journals. And these journals, I do believe you never saw them until after he passed, that they were there and they were in a little pile. And I believe there would have been 4, 5, 6 of these, all so elegantly written. So we have Kathleen one straight away. So if you'd like to unmute Kathleen, please.
And we also have Kim with her hand raised.
Hello, I'm Kathleen.
Hi, Kathleen. And do you understand all of this, please?
Yes, I do.
That these journals were very important to you, to this gentleman.
Yes.
You know, I do think he was quite an educated man. Would you understand that too?
Yes.
And that he tried to instill this education in you.
Yes.
Okay, because this was important. Kathleen, can I ask, were you meant to become a teacher or teacher of certain things, but
Um,
you didn't quite follow through?
I don't know how to describe. I'm a teacher of physical therapy.
Okay, I'll accept that then, because I just know that he said he wanted a teacher, you know, that he wanted you to be a teacher here. And this is what he was telling me. And as I say that, I know that there must have been, would you understand that there was some sort of conflict with that, whether to become the teacher of what you are now or the teacher of something else. So there were two ideas here. Would that be correct?
I did teach PE
Great. That's what I'm
students.
wanting. Those two things there, you know? And I know that this man is so proud of you here as he comes with this love, because he says here, you're following your dream. You're following what you feels right for you now. And it took a while for you to find that courage to actually do that and step up to that. Would you
Yes.
understand that?
Yes.
Great. You know, and he says here, at last you've seen your light here and you've let that light shine, because now at this stage in your life, you are truly standing in your power a lot more than you ever did. Great. Sorry, I thought I'd lost you there. If you can keep up with me, that would be great, Kathleen.
Okay.
But I know as I'm saying that, and I'm saying that with fun, because I know that here he had a great sense of humor and could be very quick. Would you understand that?
Yes, I understand that.
I know there was a certain excitement with him. He would get quite excited about things.
Yes.
And the more excited to get, I want to speak so fast that I think it would kill me because I wouldn't get breath. Would you
Yes.
understand that to be correct?
Yes.
Here. And I know he wanted to share so much of this knowledge with you. He wanted to share so much of these experiences with you too. And
Yes.
I do feel that when he wrote these lovely little journals here, they were really quite personal expressions of what he felt and what he understood.
Yes.
Things that actually moved you to tears,
Yes.
and he said, but they were written in such a way that he wanted to bring an understanding, an insight into the real person he was, because he was father to some, friend to others, and all of these things. But
Yes.
sometimes he just felt he needed to be him. Would you understand that?
Yes, I understand that.
And through this expression of these journals, this was how he found that too. Can I ask as well, would you understand a collection of stamps, please?
I actually have a collection of stamps.
Because I just feel as though he's showing me these collection of stamps. Why aren't they in order?
They're put away in a bin somewhere.
Okay, because I know he's saying, he's showing me he's seen them, and he just said, why aren't they being in order? Because I do feel he liked order. Would you understand that too?
Yes, very much.
I feel as though I want to go through all your drawers here, looking at them, and I'm opening them, I'm looking at them here, and there doesn't seem to be a lot of rhythm to those drawers, he's saying. Would you understand that to be correct as well?
Yes, that is correct.
I feel as though I'm stuffed things here, stuffed that, and I know this man couldn't abide things like that too. He lived by certain rules and certain standards,
That's correct.
But I've got to say, he had the sweetest smile. Would you understand that to be correct as well?
Yes.
And I know as he says here, as he comes forward, he says, it was a great shame I had to leave you, but I've never really truly left. I'm still there because I know he's still thought about and still talked about as well. Would you
Yes.
understand that?
Yes.
And also here, I've just got to go to something. I think he loved, would you understand the love of music? Would you understand a collection of cassettes?
Very much. He loved music.
Okay. He loves me, and I know there's he says they're not good anymore. People don't play them like they used to. But he had this large collection of cassettes. But I also want in some of those cassettes, there should be his voice on some of them as well, where he's talked.
I do have, yes, him video of him.
Okay, because I know he wants to say, I shared some of my experiences and his heartfelt experiences. Would you understand that to be correct as well?
Yes.
All right. I do feel here. Can I ask who's thinking about doing yoga or something similar?
His sister has been doing yoga at college.
All right. Because he talks about this yoga going in and he just says, I do think they need a bit more balance, don't you? So as he's looking, very straightforward talking here, but he was the most beautiful soul, I have to say. And I know that his light still shines very much in all your lives here. Okay.
Yes.
Just before I leave you, there should be a connection to Canada. Moreover, I keep hearing Vancouver.
Huh.
Is that correct? Do you understand that?
My grandmother family is from Canada.
So we have that connection. And would you understand Vancouver, please?
Vancouver, I don't know exactly Vancouver.
Okay, I don't like doing this, but I'm going to tell you, please check that because I know it fits.
Okay.
I know it fits. I also hear that there must have been a lake. I've never been to Canada, I've never been to America. I've barely left England, but but I know that a lake that would look like a sea. It's huge as well. Must connect in with that as well.
Okay.
So will you check that for me,
I
please?
will check that.
All right. So Kathleen, I know he just wants to give you a big hug and a big bear hug, and even one that I feel that sometimes it could be a little overpowering with that hug, but he's doing that to you now. All
Thank you
right.
so much.
So
I appreciate the
understand that
message.
and that beautiful smile. All right. Keep
Thank
that.
you.
And by the way, will you wish it's somebody's birthday in the next couple of weeks? Will you wish them happy birthday from him?
I will do that. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. No, thank you and God bless you. Thank you very much there for sharing. Well, thanking the spirit world as well for sharing that beautiful heartfelt message. Okay, as I could move on here, I really feel I want a lady that comes forward here. And I do feel with this lady, I do feel like it's Sunday. I've got to put on my Sunday best. I've got to put on my Sunday voice. I've got to be that little bit more eloquent because it's Sunday, it's God's day. So she would have really, had her faith, and she would really believe in these old traditions here. And I know as I'm talking about this, I'm talking about grandmother. Now, I know grandmother would have had an absolute big impact in your life, as well as a say so. The rest of the week, she's not letting me know about the rest of the week, but shall we just say she was normal? Okay. So I just feel here that she wants to, just share that moment with you, that moment of reflection, because I do believe if you understand this message, that shortly before her passing, there would have been a time of sharing and a time of reflection with this beautiful soul. So we have two people.
Yes, and if
Okay.
anyone else can understand this information, please press your raise hand button.
Okay, I hear their voice, please?
Yes, we have Mary and Bryn. Mary, if you could find your unmute button, please.
Hello, this is Bryn.
Oh, that's Bryn. Hi,
Hi,
Bryn.
Bryn. Do you understand all of this message?
I understand the spiritual part of Sunday.
Right.
She was reflective, in her passing, for sure.
Okay. And would you understand the rest of the week she was just her normal self? She didn't put on airs and graces,
Yeah. Okay.
But yet I do feel that this lady was very gifted at putting her point across, shall we say.
Yes.
So you would understand that. But she had to be a big part of your life, Bryn. Would you
Yes.
understand that to be
Yeah,
correct?
she was. Yeah.
Because I do feel like, I don't know if you've heard this expression, but this is an English expression. I do feel like I want to say peas in a pod. So you and her could be very similar. Would you understand that? In
Yeah,
your thoughts,
in a lot of ways.
and your
Yeah.
reflections,
Yeah.
Yeah. Because she's laughing here in my mind as she says, my goodness, you're becoming, the older you're getting, the more like her you are becoming.
Okay.
So, and I do feel she had a very good sense of humor, if not slightly wicked. Would that make sense to you?
Yes, she had a good sense of humor. I don't know about the wicked, but
Well, let's just say she could be, I don't know, well, when I mean wicked, very quick with
yeah,
it,
quick.
you
Yeah.
know, and she could really seize on a point,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know, that's what I'm meaning there. But it was all about the laughter in with her. Would you understand that, bringing that happiness here
Yeah.
into your life? Because I
Right.
don't believe that life was always a bed of roses. Would you understand that?
That's true.
Because she said, wow, we certainly had to suck some lemons, you know? And I believe that's how she would put things. Maybe not exactly those words, but that is the way she would be reflection,
Okay.
of it. And I do feel like I want to say, remember those nights sitting round the fire, just chatting. And I feel like we've got, it feels like a cocoa, but I'm not sure it is. But it feels like we've got, this lovely drink with us, and I just feel I want biscuits and cake.
I don't know about the fire, but I could see the other parts.
Okay. Would you understand a heat source?
Yeah, it could be.
Okay, because I feel as though I just want that extra heat source. Yeah, I do believe with this lady, would you understand that there was a point where she just couldn't get warm? Because
Oh,
I know that I'm feeling sweaty, but I know she's cold, and it's like, can we have the heat up?
could be. Yeah, I wasn't familiar with that part.
Okay, all right. But you would understand what I'm getting at with her.
Yeah.
All right, because I feel this is the latter 6 months of her life where
Hmm.
there was when there was a big change. Would you
Right.
understand that?
Yeah, I
There
could.
was a big change, and you saw it more than anybody else,
Okay. Yeah. Yes.
you know.
Yeah.
But she says, I don't want to go over all those old memories, but she says here that how much she loved you and how
Yeah.
much you loved her, you
Yeah.
know, and there
Yeah.
was never any doubt in each of your minds about that love,
Yeah.
because,
Correct.
there was nothing that this lady would not have done for you. Would you
Hmm.
understand that?
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can understand that.
Okay. Who
Yeah.
kept bringing bugs into the house? Was this
Oh,
you?
gee. We had a lot. We had a lot of books in the house. Hmm. My
Would you
mother liked.
understand? No,
Mother.
not books. Are you saying books?
Yes.
I'm saying bugs, insects.
Oh, bugs. Uh,
Because
um, wow, that's a good one.
you're talking about these bugs being in the house and not liking them.
I don't remember that.
Okay. All
I'm
right.
sorry.
Can I just hold you for a minute? Is there anybody else that could understand that bugs? Because I do feel the bugs is quite pertinent.
Huh.
Mary,
Let's just see.
could you
Mary
just
has had
unmute?
her hand up. Mary L. It could be by accident. I'm not sure. Yeah, it might
She.
be by accident that she has her hand raised. But is there anyone else who can understand the
Oh, there's
bugs?
Christine.
Yeah, let's bring
Christine.
in Christine.
Yeah,
Let me
hey.
Okay,
see
Chris.
where you are, Bryn. There you go.
Okay. Can you understand that, Christy?
I do. Yeah, she had a lot of bugs in her house.
Oh, right. Okay. And would you understand then with this, everything else I've said?
Yeah, she was a church going person. Sunday, she dressed up and
Brilliant. Sorry, Bryn, it's just that there was one too many no's for my liking
Sure,
there,
that's
you
okay.
know, and I just felt that I know that the bugs were very real to her, here. And I just know, as I say this, thank God we don't seem to see them very much here in our country, but she couldn't abide cockroaches. Would you understand that?
yeah, she did.
I feel as though I need to be standing on a chair and screaming blue murder. Would you? And I kind of feel here though, were you that, she talks about a cheeky imp. So were you that little cheeky madam when you were younger?
Um, maybe so. I was around her a lot. We was in the
Yeah.
family business. But
When I
yeah,
say cheeky, I don't mean in a bad way. I mean that
right. Yeah,
cheeky,
funny. Yeah.
that funny, cheeky, that kind of sense of humor, you know, and I know she loved that. I know she loved that, and I
Okay.
do feel as though I want to say, I'm not getting off this chair, but pass me a biscuit. Would you understand that?
Yes, she always had some biscuits. Yeah.
I'm not
I had a
leaving this
biscuit this
chair.
morning though.
All right, but I know you to pass that biscuit, here. And I kind of feel I want also that there should be the name Mary that would connect as well, please.
Um,
No, not Mary. Would you understand Saint Mary or Saint Mary's?
it's a Catholic church around here.
Sorry, there is a Catholic church, did you say?
Yeah. Yes.
And is it called Saint Mary?
I'm pretty sure there's one around the area. There's plenty churches. And
Okay, because I know I want a connection with the Saint Mary, but if I've got this correct, I do believe that she would visit more than one church.
Yes, she was Baptist, but
Because
yeah,
she informs me there would have been three that she would have visited, obviously not all at the same time, but
right.
she would have, visited three different churches he talks about here. But I do feel also that I've got to say she would have been, big in her community, but not a large community. But you've a big presence in her community. Would
I
that
can
make
understand
sense?
that. Yes.
And that was important to her because she was a very caring and sharing person. And it didn't matter who you were, I would share with you,
Right. She was. Yeah.
you know. And I know that she always tried to help encourage you and give, um, those words of wisdom to you, which at the time she says, I know you didn't think much of them,
Right. Yeah.
you know. But I've got to say, she says, but now they come to haunt you, don't they? It's like
Yeah.
reflection, you know.
Sure.
I also hear, did she love her crocheting or something like that?
She sewed a lot. Yeah.
You know, and I feel as I want small work, not huge work here, but although there must be a family. I know you, sorry if I've got this wrong, I'm not American, so, but I know that she talks about a family blanket or a family cover of some sort that that would have had memories in it. Would that make sense?
Well, my other grandma, she crocheted, and I still have her blanket and use it during the winter.
Okay, maybe I got a crossover. I know that I want a family blanket that it would have been made. No, 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 no. There must be something. The original one I'm talking about here that must have had. Would you understand making blankets or making things from old bits of rag or old bits of clothing?
Yes, she did that a lot.
Thank you, because that is what I wanted there.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I really wanted things like t-shirts and things like that because she says they make good on their whatever it is they do.
Right.
you know and if I've got this correct, has somebody been looking at starting their own family memories?
I do write a lot about my family and the history.
Okay, and have you put it all in one book?
No, I've been thinking about it, and people do tell me I should, but I haven't.
Okay, because she keeps showing me this book, so I think it's time to put them together in this
Oh,
book.
oh,
And
thank you.
this is what she's encouraging you to do here. I've got to say, she had a lovely personality, a sweet lady, but my goodness, I wouldn't have liked to have crossed her when she was hopping mad.
Yeah.
Because she might have been small, but my God, she was powerful.
Yeah, she had a lot of boys she had to tame.
Yeah, oh yeah, she said I had the most fantastic set of bellows on me, you know. So I know that she would be heard maybe even across town, with this. But she loved that. And I know that as I say this here, would you understand she wasn't a huge drinker, but she did like a little glass of something.
Right, exactly.
Because she's just holding it up as if to say, and this is for you. Let's celebrate
Um,
you,
oh,
you
praise
know.
the Lord. Thank you.
Okay. So, who loved their sweet cherry brandy?
She would always like the cherry ice cream. I don't know about well, she would get like 7 Up with some kind of cherry and alcohol in it, maybe gin or
Okay.
something.
Well, she's mentioning cherry brandy, so I'm going to go with her, I'm
Okay. Go
afraid.
ahead.
So she talked about this cherry brandy,
Right.
here. But I know that she would have loved cherries herself anyway, which you've already mentioned. But she does show me this eating the cherries. So I want to just say to you here, accept her love and accept her joy and know that you are doing the right thing now. All right. And
Oh,
don't let anybody dissuade you.
oh,
Okay.
great.
And I
Great.
think
Thank
you
you.
could possibly know what she means by that.
Right.
So
Yeah.
thank you for working with me and God bless you.
Okay. Thank you. Love you, Mama.
Oh, bless. As I move on here forward to, I want here that I know that I want to, it feels like a son. And if this isn't an actual son, it would be either a stepson or somebody you tread like a son. And this young man here, I feel he was, I say young man, my goodness, I know he was taller than me, but that's not hard. But he's quite a big presence here. And I know that he had the most wonderful smile, a face that would really light up here. And I kind of feel that there was a lot going for him. There was a lot going for his life. But yet, shall we just say, he had those thoughts that sometimes led him into places where he ought not to have gone. So, oh, we've got 2 people. Can we?
Oh, yeah, we've got some hands going up. We've got 4 folks with their hands. 5
Okay.
can take all
I
this
do feel
information.
like as I'm talking about those places, it feels like some sort of mental health issues. And I don't know whether this was drug related or the drugs didn't help that he was giving, but I know there would be drugs involved in this too. And I just feel that sometimes there would also be a fluctuation in mood that has to fit 100%. Ooh.
Okay, and we have several people with their hands raised that can take all the
Oh,
information.
brilliant.
Chris.
I love it when we get lots. as
Oh,
we walk
yes.
over it. So, as I see this young man here, I'm going to say he had quite a physique. He looks as though he could have played sport or something like that. I would have loved his sports. I do feel that, that he's got that kind of what I call an athletic look about him. I know that he would particularly have loved sport. Oh, I know. Now, I don't know what it is. It's some sort of ball game. So sorry, you'll have to forgive me my English bit, but I know there's some sort of ball game. I'm wanting to be throwing the ball. So I don't know whether you call it soccer or whatever it is.
Baseball, maybe? I don't know.
I feel as though it's a bit bigger than a baseball.
Football, American
Yes.
football.
That could be it. So I know that he would have. I don't say he did it for profession, but I know he would have played it. So that's reduced it down to 2. So can we hear your voices, please?
Yes, we have Jeanette and Mary. So Jeanette, if you could find your unmute button.
And Mary. Do you both understand this, please?
Yes.
That's Jeanette. Mary?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank
Good.
you.
And would you understand this? It was American football?
Yes.
Brilliant. Okay.
Jeanette, Mary? Is
Well, he played sports. He played mostly baseball.
Okay. No, I did feel as though I wanted
Football.
the football. It seemed a bit what we would call a rugby hall here. I don't know what you would call it. Okay. All right. So, Jeanette, I'm possibly with you here with you. So, first of all, would you accept the love of this beautiful young man?
Absolutely.
And would you understand when he comes forward and he says here, I'm so sorry I let you down?
Yes.
And that comes from the heart from him. I know that, and I feel the impact of the emotion behind that. But he says, I kept letting you down and I kept trying. Honest, I did. But it just got a hold of me and I couldn't shake it. Would that make sense to you?
Yes, it
All
does.
right. I've got to say here, I don't feel a violent boy, but there would have been mood swings. Would that make sense to you as well?
Oh, definitely.
I feel like I'm almost on a seesaw where I could be one end one moment and down on the next at the flip of a switch.
Yes.
And there would be these little explosions, shall we just say?
Yes.
And he says, I didn't mean the things I said.
No.
And I know he said some very hurtful things. Would you understand that?
Yes.
And that is what he's saying. I really didn't mean it. It was just the way I was. He says it was just like an illness for him. Would that make sense to you?
Yes.
I do feel too, there must have been times when you were desperately worried about him because he talks about just disappearing or just being out away from you and as though he'd been almost hidden, And I knew he caused you a lot of worry in those times, even though you tried not to,
Right.
And he said here that know now that he's absolutely happy, that he's okay, and that he's fine. And would you understand when he says I'm with Pops, but I feel like I'm
Oh my,
grandfather?
yes,
Does that make sense?
yes, my husband.
Oh, Pops. Okay, I thought that was a grandfather term, but no,
Them
sorry.
too.
Yeah, okay. But I just feel as though when he just said definitely I'm with Pops, you know? And can you understand when I say those bridges are well and truly mended,
Oh, that's good.
you know? And I just feel like I want to say the boys are back in town. Does that make sense to you?
Um, I maybe.
It's like I've come, I feel like there's 3, 4 of them all come together and the boys are back in town
Oh
here.
yeah,
Did that make sense?
yes.
Okay. I also say somebody who loves feeding the birds, please.
Oh, my father.
Okay.
Loves feeding the
Because I
bird.
keep feeling, it's like I want to say to you, why do you keep forgetting to put little bits out?
Yeah, I used to feed birds, and then I kind of
You
let it
just,
go.
yeah. Because he says, why do you keep forgetting? This is important to him. All right.
Okay.
Because I know that he still likes the birds and he does it where he is now. But are there very beautiful multicolored birds around where you live?
Not really, mostly ravens.
Well, can I say then, would you understand where he was? There were beautiful, lovely, multicolored birds. They almost
I'm
seem like an iridescence on them.
not sure. I don't
Okay,
know.
will you check that, please?
Yeah.
Okay. I also kind of feel here, who's been talking about Florida, please?
Okay. I know
Yeah,
he wanted to go there.
right, okay.
We have
But
relatives
it
there.
was only talk. Would you understand that?
Yeah.
It was only talk, but because I felt you know, the weather would have suited me, but yet I know it would have been too hot. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You know, really wanted to go, really wanted, like, I don't know whether there was a retirement place or, or something like that. This is where I want to go and end my days. Would that make
Maybe.
sense?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, he was
okay.
kind of young.
But, well, this is where he was looking at, and I feel here that there was always this sense with this young boy that I got this feeling that he believed he never saw himself getting old. Would
Yeah,
that
I
make
could see. He
sense
was
to you?
young. Yes, he was very young at heart. He really was.
You know,
And he even
um,
looked
and,
young.
and I just feel as though there was just never ever going to get really old here too. And I also feel who was good with engines, please, because I know that I want a connection with the engines. So I feel like I'm wanting to show. I've got it's like the two of them are chatting here at once. One would be good with the engines and trying to show the other one, but the other one wasn't interested. Does that make sense? It doesn't to
Yeah.
me, but
Yes, it does.
okay, because I've tried to say, pass me the wrench, and he's saying, what's that? And and I just feel this eyeballs rolling in my head, all right, as he's doing that. So I kind of feel there was that kind of banter going on with them. Would you understand that?
Yeah, my father was a mechanic.
Okay, all right.
Well,
And I just feel here,
backyard
I've got to,
mechanic.
okay, I feel here, um, that would you understand was there a problem with your father's chest here, please? And
Yes.
especially around the heart and the breathing, please.
Yes.
I do feel that towards the end of the life there would have been a need for oxygen or some sort of mask to help him breathe.
Yes.
Um, I know also here as I connect with that, he knew he was passing and he tried to pull it off his face. Would that make
Yes.
sense to you? That,
Absolutely.
and we were trying to keep that held there, even though we knew what was happening,
Exactly.
because he just wanted to leave. He wanted to go. He said, I'd said my goodbyes, as far as he was concerned, it was time to go, you
Yes.
know, and but he thanked everybody for being there, being around him, because I
Hmm.
do feel like there was a bit of a shift pattern going on that we
Right.
sat with him. Would that make sense to you?
Yes.
All right. And I do feel he was, as I think of the younger man here, I just know he wants to give you the love that he said I should have rightly given you when I was there, when he was here with you.
Yes.
All right. And he said, I'm so sorry I didn't, give you that opportunity. But he knew you loved him no matter what, even
Yes.
though he drove you crazy. He said, I knew you loved me, but I just wasn't that person at that time. But I am now. So he's giving you these big hugs now and those
Oh,
big love, And I've got to say here to you, Jeanette, you must feel the presence of them around you because they
sometimes.
just, I feel like I want to be here with, especially with one man who just wants to dance with you. He just feels like I want to dance with you. I want to sweep you off your feet, here, and let's go for it, girl. Would you understand that?
Uh, for who? For my son?
For you,
Oh, yes.
okay? All right, for you, okay? But accept the love of these beautiful gentlemen. Know that you're in safe hands. And I kind of feel like here that change, I want to say to you, and you must understand this when I say change is good, even when it's scary.
Yes.
And that must be quite pertinent at the moment.
Yes, it is.
All right. So it is good. It may be scary, but remember that. All right. So thank you for working with me and God bless you very much.
Thank you. God bless.
All right. I know that I hear I want a gentleman that comes forward and he just keeps saying, Dad, Dad, I'm Dad. But he's got a really very deep voice. And I think there's no way I could ever match it in God's earth. But he's got a really deep voice here, a voice that even when he spoke quietly, you would definitely hear it and there would be a distinctive sound to it. I can't quite get the rhythm of the distinctive sound here, but I know he was quite proud of his achievement. He was proud of his family. I also feel like I want to talk about heritage. My heritage was quite important as I wanted to instill that on people, on the family, shall we say. So these are talking about things that would have happened, from in his life. I feel we're talking about maybe there could have been connections with another country as well. Do we have any takers?
All right. Thank you very much. We had a couple hands went up before you finished, so they went down. Bonnie is got her hand raised. And Jilly, can you understand this information too? You had put your hand up earlier, the very beginning. Let's bring in Bonnie. If you could press your unmute button, Bonnie. And
Hello.
Jilly has
Hello,
her hand
Bonnie.
up too.
Do you understand all of this?
I do.
Great. And is it Gilly or Jilly?
Jilly.
Gillian.
Jilly.
Yes. Yeah.
Jilly, do you understand this as well?
I do. Absolutely. Yes.
Would you understand particularly connections to Europe?
Yes.
Okay.
I do.
Same with you, Bonnie?
It might be more for her. Yes, I do, but they came over from Scotland to Canada.
Okay.
No, this was connections in the family with Germany and Austria and so on.
Right. Okay. Bonnie, keep listening because I may come back to you, but I will go with Jilly first, if I may. Okay. And I feel like I want it on grandfather's level. Would you understand that, Jilly?
Yes.
Okay, because I know that I'm wanting the grandfather there. All right. I want to say a proud man, but he wasn't always proud of the things that happened. That make sense to you?
Yes, he had a lot to do with the war. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Because I know I was getting a sense of this, but I know that I don't want to talk about it. Would that make sense to you?
Never talked about it. No.
Because I was saying, I'll say this, and I heard, no, don't.
No.
I don't want to talk about it.
No.
I couldn't even mention the word you mentioned. All right.
No.
That was how he was with it, because this man makes me aware he saw some pretty awful things.
Yes.
All right. And I know he said it hurt his heart to ever think about it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so he knows that all of you only ever guessed at
Yes.
what went on.
Yes.
All right. Here too. Can I say he was he would you understand the love of books, please?
Oh, very much so. Yes.
And I'm seeing like a lot of small books, you know,
Yes.
a lot of really small books here. And I
Yeah.
know as I'm going to these books, I think there are poetry in some of them. Would you understand that as well?
Yes.
And so
Yes,
I
I
love
can.
these short verses. I love this poetry, especially if it speaks to my heart. Okay.
Yes.
All right. And I know that he had an incredible heart, shall we just say that? Because he had
Yes.
a heart for somebody who's seen so much horror. He had a heart full of love. Would you understand that?
Yes. He was good to me. Yes.
Yeah, okay. And who loves their mints? Was that you or him?
That was him.
Okay. I feel like I want to be going, I've got one in my cheek pouch, you know?
Yes.
So it's here. But, he's infuriating me because I'd have to crunch it and he wasn't. He would be just
No,
leaving it
you
to
would suck
dissolve.
it.
Yeah, I just feel he could do it on for hours and it would drive me crazy, you know. But he said, I love to torment, but laughing in that
Yes.
way.
Yeah.
So I know you and him shared a very special bond. Would you understand that?
Yes.
Because I do feel that he would always look wherever you were and I feel like I just want to give you a little wink or a little nod
The
of
little wink
recognition.
is absolutely proof. Yes. Yes.
Yes,
The
all
little
right.
wink. Yeah.
Just that little wink. And I felt it was with my right eye, not my left.
Yeah. Yes, you're right.
Yeah, right, okay. Because I can do it with my left, but I can't do it with right. But he wanted to do it with the right here. And as I'm doing that, I don't know if you can see me leaning, but I'm looking like I'm looking past
Yes.
people to see where you are and just do that to you, you know, and saying, there you are. And I know that too. Would you understand old Deutschmarks, I think it is, or
Oh,
old
yes.
currency, a
Yes.
collection of old currency?
We still have some here.
You've just
Yes.
stole my thunder.
Oh,
I
I'm
was
so
about to
sorry.
say
I'm so
you would
sorry.
still have it. All right. Okay.
Oh,
Sandra will tell you off later. Don't
yes,
worry.
zip
All
my
right.
mouth up.
Okay. But I know he talks about this. But would this make sense to you? I'm going to describe it as I'm looking at it looks like old decorations. Would you understand that old decoration? Mainly one that looks a bit like an egg to me. That's the only way I can describe it. It may not
Yes.
be,
Yes.
but would that make sense to you?
We have some old carvings and things from Germany.
Okay, brilliant. Would also, if this is correct, this has to be correct, sorry, that one of these unscrews.
I don't have that, but I think somebody does. Yes, I have
Okay.
a recollection of it.
All right,
Yeah.
because I know there was hidden in that 100 Deutschmarks,
Oh,
he says. You know, which if they were to go and dig it out now, I'm sorry, it's out, they're worthless now.
yes.
But he said, we would say he would hide things, little things away just in case,
Yes.
and I felt like, especially little things like letters and photographs would be hidden in the pages of old books.
Yes, we found them. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Because he said there were a number of them, weren't they, afterwards that you found?
Yes. Oh, yes.
And particular photographs that you hadn't seen before.
Yes.
And they talked about these photographs here. And there should have been one there with him, and we didn't quite recognize the lady. Would you have a memory of that?
I don't, but there are a lot of old photographs. Yes,
Okay.
I could go
Would you
through and have a look.
understand a photograph with him and his sister?
Ah, yes, that's a possibility.
Okay, because he says there's a beautiful photo of me and my sister, but I do feel that, would you understand whether that relationship was torn apart, or there was something that
difficulties. Yes, difficulties there.
there were difficulties there. All right, and that was his regret at that time. He said that was his regret. But what a beautiful, wonderful man. I do feel I want to say to you as well, please keep your feet warm, because I felt his feet would suffer.
Oh, lovely.
You
I've
know,
got slippers on now.
because he talks about, I think he didn't like his feet cold, but he would get cold feet. Too.
Oh,
I also feel though that I do feel he wasn't a complainer, but I'm fed up of me damn teeth, me damn and I'm fed up. Would that make sense to you?
yes, yes,
You
that's
know,
right. Yes.
I do feel there must have been a false tooth or a set or something
Oh,
where
false teeth, yes.
I just felt they kept slipping. Would that make
Yeah.
sense to you?
They never
And
fitted properly. No.
yeah, and forgive me, Sunday and all, but my God, there was some serious drool going on. And it made me feel that, feel that
Oh,
here,
oh,
bless him. But a heart of gold. And I know
oh,
that he
yes.
talks about you having that whole heart of gold. And would you understand here that someone in the family has been trying to look at this past and tried to go over
Yes.
this past so that
Yes.
they can understand and put the pieces back together,
That's right. Yes.
you know?
Yeah.
And he says, I'm quite proud of you actually doing that.
Mm,
He is quite proud of that, really, because he says
yeah.
it's okay. That was more to do with his mind, not yours, because you're quite removed from that,
Yes. Yes,
you know.
exactly. Yes.
But yet it still touches the heartstrings, does it not?
It does. It
You
does
know,
indeed.
here.
Yes.
So I kind of feel too that I want to talk about grandma's rings, please.
Yes, they've come down in the family. Yes.
Brilliant, because there was a bit of a thing where he says we didn't know quite what we were going to do with them or where they should go. Would that make sense to you?
Yes, that's right.
You know?
There's always the thing about jewelry in this family.
All right, because some have wanted to get rid and should we get something else and and all this talk here. And I'm saying, well, what should he do? And he just shrugged his shoulders and said what they think best. That was the type of person he was,
He wouldn't be bothered about that.
because he just said, I'm not being drawn into this.
No,
All right.
no.
He wouldn't be drawn into these
No,
arguments.
no.
Would would that be good?
I
But
understand that.
all right. But I do believe the most important ring is her engagement ring.
Yes, my daughter has it. Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
because that's the important one he talks about.
Mm,
That's the one that
mm.
meant so much, because to understand what they had to go through to get that ring,
Yes,
there's a huge story behind that. Too long for us to talk about it now, but
yeah,
there is a story and a lot of meaning behind that. And I
yeah.
dare say, if you hold that ring in your hand, you can feel the love oozing from that.
Yes, I must
know?
try that. Yes,
All
yes,
right.
indeed.
I do feel here that, can we say, is it your daughter here that looks like grandma?
Yes, she has the look of her. Yes, yes.
Okay, because he says, oh, that was the look I fell in love with. Would you understand that? But then I could say, he could say certain things about grandma, as well, that would be not so good at times, but it was all done for effect. So take
Yes,
his love
yes,
and,
yes. He was quite
know that
dry.
he's still
Yeah, yeah.
know he's still part of, still a part of your life here.
That's lovely.
And, and I know that he wants to talk about the dog being with him as well. All
Oh,
right.
good. I'm so glad.
he's-
Yes. Oh,
Okay.
That's
So thank
lovely.
you for
thank
working
you
with me,
so much.
and God bless you.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Chris.
You're more than welcome.
Thank you, Julie. And Chris, thank you so much for being
Oh, am I
our...
done? Oh,
I-
sorry.
Well, it's okay if that's all right with you. I know
Yes,
everybody
that's fine.
wishes you'd go on forever. We do have a special demonstration of mediumship coming up in December with Chris. We'll keep everybody up to date with that. Some announcements. We've got our closing prayer, and also I've got a very special closing video for you today. First of all, let's all send lots of love to Chris, thanking him for your beautiful words today. And everyone, especially people that typed in that chat box, sending me messages about different parts of the messages that they could take, really letting us know that all of our loved ones are working hand in hand together. Okay, some announcements. First of all, Chris, you can find out more about him at chrisjacobsmedium.co.uk. I interviewed him. That interview is right there on the main page. And also his very special book, A Life Far from Ordinary, My Life with Spirit. He is just a lovely man. If you are interested in a medium reading, of course, he offers them. But whatever medium you go to, one of the things we feel very strongly about is make sure the medium ebook has that 10-minute guarantee. If you're not happy in 10 minutes, the reading comes to an end and you don't pay. So let's really all try to bring that level of mediumship up in the world if we can. Speaking of mediumship, our new classes begin this week with our medium duo husband and wife team, Carrie McLeod and Phil Dykes. We first start learning how our soul works and receives information. That's Wednesday's psychic class, Contact with the Soul. And then on Thursdays, you get the medium class, which this one is the message of the medium. And it's the story that comes from the communicator. So you can find all these things I'm talking about at wedon'tdie.com. You can click on the store page for everything coming up. We also have a class with Scott Milligan and myself coming in October called Trance in the Altered States. Scott will be back with us on Friday for a demonstration of trance mediumship and also sitting for healing. Our good friends Kath and Mitch Shirley, you bet Mitch last week, they're advanced grief specialists. They'll be doing a free grief cafe, the 90 minutes to learn about grief, share. They're really beautiful events and very private, so you can enjoy that as well. Again, wedon'tdie.com. I've got 2 brand new podcast episodes for you, now totaling 667 between my 2 podcasts. On We Don't Die, we've heard about different cultures that believe in the afterlife, like October's coming soon and the Day of the Dead. A lot of Central and South American countries practice, really celebrating that our loved ones are still alive. So I speak with Joanna Ebenstein, who is an expert on, well, all things death and how looking death in the eye really can give us access to a very powerful, fulfilled life. So that's on We Don't Die Radio. And then on Shades of the Afterlife, we hear a story of a man who got to look into the future in his near-death experience. So on the main screen of wedon'tdie.com, you can find out more about those episodes. Of course, just beneath that, there's a box. If you're not on our mailing list already, just enter your name and your email address. It says you'll get the first few chapters of my book, We Don't Die. The secret is it's the entire book. Chapter 10 is about grief, and I think it's the most important chapter because let's face it, friends, a lot of what joins us today on our Sunday gathering is we've got a loved one or more that we miss. And so it gives some really, really good tools. I think that's it for announcements, but I wanted to say thank you to those of you who have donated to make our Sunday gathering possible. We have a Sunday gathering page at wedon'tdie.com where you can donate if you should choose to. And you can also register for next week's Sunday gathering, which we have guest medium Stephen Trolland here with us. Also, you can watch some past videos. Now, the link you use to join today becomes the replay link. So I know there's some people that would like to see the replay. Some last words from me, speaking of the light within. You know, when you go by the ocean or a lake and you see the sun, the glitter that seems to be on the waves, it's very bright. You and I can't look up at the sun, but we can look at the water and see that light. To me, that's how bright the light is that shines within each one of us. And when I wake up in the morning or go to bed at night, or sometimes just having that quiet moment of meditation, I imagine that bright light in my belly and just growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. And it comes out of my skin, my pores. And then I imagine the sun. And to me, that represents God, the universe, whatever divine you wish to call it. But those 2 lights, my light and that light, joined together. And I don't know who taught me this along the way, but to sit in that power and just let go of thoughts, and then feel that nurturing of that divine power. I think it recharges our spiritual batteries. And whether you call it meditation, sitting in the power, it's so healing. And also there's some really good ideas and even contact with our loved ones that can come out of that space of really being present. So I just offer that to you if that should make a difference. I'd like to send it over to Chris for our closing prayer, please.
Thank you. If you'd like to join me all as we bring this evening to a close. Divine Spirit, as we conclude this time of worship and fellowship, guide our steps as we return back to our daily lives. May the light of your love shine through us all, illuminating the paths of those we encounter. Grant us the strength to face the week ahead, the wisdom to make the righteous choices, and the compassion to serve others. Let our actions reflect the learning of your teachings as we go forth to bring our light into the world. Bring that love to bear on all that we do. In the name of love and your name. Amen.
Thank you so much, Chris. And thank you to you, our friends and family, wherever you are in the world. We appreciate you giving us this time. And also, please keep in mind that light within. And also a thank you to our friends in the spirit world. I have a special closing video for you. In America and other places in the world, we've got America's Got Talent, Britain's Got Talent. Well, we're going into the finals this week of America's Got Talent. And this past week, I saw a video that I really wanted to share with you because it really is about that light within. A man, a lawyer, who's the co-founder of a drone company. Just 4 years ago, his daughter passed, and she was just a 4-year-old girl. And with that, he ended up going in search of what made his light shine. And he created this drone company. And so he's a finalist on America's Got Talent, but the beginning shares his story. And then there is such a spectacular light display that he does with the drones to music that I thought you'd really enjoy. So let me play this for you as our closing video. That is what letting your light shine is all about. It makes me cry every time I see it. Friends, we love you. We thank you. Don't forget to go to wedon'tdie.com. Sign up for next week. We'll be here for you. We love you. Chris, love you and thank you. See you all next week, if not sooner. Bye, everyone.